Hello friends. So in today we will discuss the new topic refrigeration. So first you will understand the definition of this refrigeration. So refrigeration is a process of producing and maintaining the temperature of the system below the surrounding. That is called refrigeration. For example, I have written here. So it is a process of producing and maintaining the temperature of the system below the surrounding. That is refrigeration. So in the air conditioning, that is also a process of producing and maintaining the temperature of system below the surrounding only. But here the quality of air is controlled in the air conditioning, and air conditioning not only maintain the temperature below the surrounding, it can increase the temperature to the above surrounding, depends upon the condition of the atmospheric air. And that is the second point. And refrigeration is not for human comfort. Air conditioning it is for human comfort. That is what difference between these two we discussed in the previous video lectures. So there are two types of refrigerations. One is air refrigeration system and another one is vapor refrigeration system. Air refrigeration system and vapor refrigeration system. So what is the difference between these two is, in the air refrigeration system the working fluid is used as air, and in the vapor refrigeration system the working fluid may be different than air, that is called refrigerant. It may be ammonia, freon 12 and freon 22, dichlorofluoromethane, etc. Different types of refrigerants you can use in the vapor refrigeration system. So vapor refrigeration system you can use in our kitchen room and in small scale industries. And the second point is very important point. It is okay, the phase of the working substance does not change in the air refrigeration system. So throughout the cycle the working fluid air has its same phase. It will not change from liquid to vapor or vapor to liquid, etc. But in the vapor refrigeration system the phase of a substance which is used, that is refrigerant, changes from one process to another process, depends upon the components. So the phase of the substance changes during working in a cycle. That is the second important point. So consider one system to understand better refrigeration. Okay, consider a system. The temperature of the system is 30 degrees Celsius and surrounding temperature is also 30 degrees Celsius. So now I am not comfortable with this system having 30 degrees Celsius. I need to reduce 30 degrees Celsius to 25. So I need to supply some external fluid to the system, and that fluid absorb heat from the system, absorbing heat, or the system is rejecting heat to the surrounding, or in other way the surrounding is absorbing heat. So when the system rejects heat to the surrounding, then slowly the temperature of the system comes down from 30 to 25 degrees Celsius and maintain the same 25 degrees Celsius throughout the cycle, throughout the day. Then this process is called refrigeration cycle or refrigeration process. So first next point we will discuss the air refrigeration system. So air refrigeration system, it is a indirect heat engine, or it is also called a reversed heat engine. What is indirect heat engine? So indirect heat engine or reverse heat engine, an engine it's absorb heat from low temperature reservoir. Okay, low temperature reservoir, and this engine rejects heat to high temperature reservoir, with the use of some external work. So that is called indirect heat engine. So indirect heat engine absorb heat from low temperature reservoir and rejects heat to high temperature reservoir with the use of some external work. Same application you can see here. The system is low temperature because initially the system temperature and the surrounding temperature are same, 30 and 30 degree, for example. Now the temperature of the system is gradually decreasing by use of some external work. I am supplying some air or some external agency fluid I am supplying. So that fluid absorb heat from the system and rejecting heat to the surrounding. So producing low temperature and maintaining the low temperature and rejecting heat to the surrounding. So heat is absorbed from low temperature to, and heat is rejected to high temperature surrounding. Surrounding is at high temperature, system is at low temperature. So that is how air conditioning system works. So air refrigeration system. Now the next topic we will consider the working of air refrigeration system. Okay, here I have taken a new topic, air refrigeration system working on Bell-Coleman cycle. Okay, this entire air refrigeration system works on the principle of Bell-Coleman cycle, and it is also called reversed Brayton cycle. So why it is called reverse Brayton cycle, we explained in the previous video lecture in the vapor power cycle. So if you don't have seen previous lectures, click on this link and you can see and understand why it is called reverse Brayton cycle, and also it is called reversed Joule cycle. Okay, now I will move to the working of Bell-Coleman cycle. So Bell-Coleman cycle consists of 4 major components. Okay, the 4 major components are, first one is evaporator, the second one is compressor, and third one is heat exchanger, and fourth one is expansion device, or it is called expander. So these are the 4 major components which are used in Bell-Coleman cycle. Okay, important components. Okay. Now I will discuss one by one what will happen in the evaporator, what will happen in the compressor and all. So first I will consider one evaporator coil. Okay, and here this is the diagram. So this evaporator coil will be placed on here first evaporator we'll discuss. So this evaporator coils is placed in a cabin. This is cabin. Cabin is nothing but where you need to reduce the temperature. For example, you take one room, and so inside the room you fix these evaporator coils. So the evaporator coils are installed in a cabin where you need to reduce the temperature of the system. So now I will supply some fluid, air, that is because it is a air refrigeration system, I will supply air. I will take this is point number 4 for my understanding purpose. So air is at low pressure and low temperature. The temperature is T4, the pressure is P4. Okay, so initially at point number 4, the air is low pressure, low temperature, and temperature is T4, pressure is P4. I will supply air inside the evaporator, and this air, when passed through the evaporator coils, absorb heat from the room. It is absorbing heat from the room because the temperature of the air is low and the temperature of the cabin where the evaporator coils are installed is more. There is a difference in temperature. Temperature of the air is less. Temperature of air is less than temperature of the cabin. So there is a difference in temperature. So the air absorb heat from the room to be cooled and it will become high temperature here. So temperature at point number 1 I will take it as T1, and pressure at point number 1 I will take it as P1. So during this evaporator process, or during the evaporator, that is called heat addition process. So heat is added to the air. Okay, so I will write here process. So process 4 to 1 is heat addition process. The heat is added to the air, that is called heat addition process. So during heat addition process, the pressure is constant. Keep in mind, 4 to 1, the pressure is constant pressure. but the temperature is increased. Here it is at low temperature and it is at high temperature. Why the temperature is increased? Air absorbed heat from the room and it becomes high temperature. So temperature at 4 will be greater than temperature at point number 1 will be greater than point number 4, but pressure P1 is equal to P4. Okay, and one more point you need to remember here: when this air refrigerant absorb heat from the room or the space to be cooled, the volume of the air slightly increases. Okay, so V1 will be greater than V4. Initially the volume of the air is less, and absorb heat from the room, the volume of the air will become more. Okay, these are the three conditions which will take place here. So next, now here at point number 1, that high temperature and low pressure, because the pressure is constant, whatever the pressure will be at point number 4 will be remain same as point number 1. So this high temperature, low pressure air, keep in mind air, there is no change in the phase of the substance. Here is also air, here will be air. That is a fundamental point you need to remember. And high temperature, low pressure air. So high temperature, low pressure air enters inside the compressor. So now question arises, why you need to compress? Why you need to compressor is used here? And as I told you before, just 2 minutes, here the volume of the air is more. If you not use the compressor, if you not compress this high volume air, it will become very difficult to pump from one place to another place. We need to take larger diameter of the pipe. So for that reason, you have to compress this high volume or more volume air to low volume, or the volume of the air should be reduced. So now this high temperature, low pressure, volume air passes to the compressor. So here compressor, we are supplying some mechanical work W. So here compression takes place, the air is undergoing compression process, that is process process 1 to 2. So what type of compression it is? Isentropic compression, or it is also called reversible adiabatic compression process. So now during the adiabatic compression, we will change what are the properties will change now here. So here it is at high temperature air. So during compression, the temperature also increases. Here I have written high temperature and high temperature. Doesn't not mean that the temperature will be remain same. The temperature at point number 2, that is T2, will be more than T1. Because if you compress any fluid, the pressure increases, at the same time the temperature also increases, but there is decrease in the volume. Okay, you take a balloon and compress it, the volume of the balloon decreases, but the pressure of the air inside the balloon and temperature also slightly increases. So at point number 2, the pressure is more than P1. So P2 pressure is more than P1, and temperature at point number 2 is also more than T1. So here, that is the reason we have written here, low pressure will become high pressure after compression, and high temperature will be slightly change in temperature of the air. Now I will call it as high pressure, high temperature air passes to the cooler or heat exchanger. So this cooler or heat exchanger will be fixed outside the room. This is, I have taken it as cabin. My cabin itself is room, and this cooler or heat exchanger will be fixed outside the room, and heat is rejected to the surrounding. This itself is surrounding. This is system. Okay. So surrounding temperature will be more. So during 2 to 3 process, 2 to 3, heat rejection takes place. So I will write here process 2 to 3, heat rejection process. Okay. So during 2 to 3, again the pressure remains constant. That is a fundamental of Bell-Coleman cycle. That is a concept of. So I will write P2 is equal to P3 because during 2 to 3 process, heat rejection process, the pressure remains constant. So I will write here P2 is equal to P3. Okay. Now you can ask a question, what about the temperature? So when high temperature air releasing its heat to the surrounding, the high temperature air become low temperature. So here is low temperature, but the pressure will be remain same. If here it is, I have taken high pressure, so pressure will be remain same, and but the temperature decreases. So point number 3, the temperature is less. T3 is less than T2. Okay, so these are the two properties will change. The volume of the air will be remain same because we are not compressing here and we are not expanding. So volume of the air will be remain same. Now this low temperature and high pressure air will supply to the expander device, or it is called expander or expansion device, or you can use examples of expansion devices: solenoid valve, or one more example is capillary tube. So these are the two types of expansion devices. So when low temperature and high pressure air expands in that, this is why expansion takes place inside the expander. So due to expansion, the high pressure air will become low pressure air. That is what we have taken initially at point number 4. Now the closed cycle is closed, and here temperature is there, that is low temperature, here also the low temperature. So due to expansion, the temperature slightly decreases. Due to expansion of the air inside the expander, the temperature also decreases. And here, dear friends, don't confuse that here low temperature is there, here is also low temperature, temperature remains constant. No, it's not like that. So temperature at point number 4 will be still less than temperature at point number 3, because due to expansion process, that is 3 to 4, pressure of the air decreases as well as temperature of the air also decreases. I will write here last process 3 to 4. It is what type of expansion? It is a reversible adiabatic expansion process. So here I will write reversible adiabatic expansion process. So what are the change in properties here? Due to expansion, so pressure at point number 4 will be less than pressure at point number P3. P3 will be more than P4. So due to expansion, pressure decreases, and at the same time temperature at point number 3 will be greater than point number 4, or T4 will be less than T3. So this is a working principle of Bell-Coleman cycle or reverse Brayton cycle. So what are the major points you remember? Here Bell-Coleman or Brayton cycle or reverse Joule cycle consists of 4 major components. One is evaporator, compressor, heat exchanger or cooler, or expander. That is first point. Second point is it is an indirect heat engine. As we told, why it is indirect heat engine? It absorbs heat from low temperature device, low temperature system, and rejects to high temperature with the use of some external work. I am supplying some work here. Okay, that is a simple sketch I can draw here. This is an engine, reversed engine. It absorbs heat from low temperature reservoir and rejects heat to high temperature with the use of some external work. So this is external work I am supplying here, absorbing heat from low temperature, rejects heat to surrounding. So the third point is, we can explain the starting of this working principle. So here initially I will take the air as the working fluid here. So air will be initially low pressure, low temperature. The low pressure, low temperature air enters inside the cabin or evaporator absorb heat, it will become high temperature. The volume of the air is also increased here compared to this point, and important point is pressure remains constant during the process. So it is low pressure compared to here. Here temperature is also more, pressure will be more because we have used the compressor. So compressor, because of using the compressor, pressure is more in this pipeline, in this route compared to in this line. Okay, so this high temperature, because air absorbed heat, now it is at high temperature but the pressure is same. So high temperature, low pressure air, refrigerant or air fluid supplied to the compressor. Here compression takes place. So what type of compression it is? Reversible adiabatic compression process. And at the end of the compression process, the temperature of the air will be more, pressure of the air will be more. So it is, that's the reason I call high pressure, high temperature. So this high pressure, high temperature air supplied to the cooler. Here the difference in temperature between the air and the cooler is more. So air rejects heat to the surrounding, to the atmosphere, here it is. But during the cooling process, the pressure remains constant. That is P3 is equal to P2. It is same. So due to compression, the volume of the air decreases. That we have written here. Volume at point number 2 will become less compared to volume at point number 1. So here volume is less compared to point number 1. That is V2 will be less than V1. So that process is called isentropic compression process. So process 2 to 3, here 2 to 3 is heat rejection process. So during heat rejection, pressure remains constant. So at the end of the heat rejection process, the temperature will become less. Here it is high temperature, it will become low temperature air, but pressure remains constant. So now it is low temperature and high pressure air we need to supply to the expansion device. We can ask a question, why you need to send to the expander? Directly we can send here. Okay, so we cannot supply this high pressure low temperature air to directly to the evaporator. The reason is, here it is high pressure is there. Directly if you supply to the evaporator, the pressure will be remain same. This high pressure evaporator will pass to the compressor. Again the pressure will become much more greater than the initial pressure. So we have to reduce this pressure. The high pressure should become low pressure. Then low pressure refrigerant or air will go to the cabin, and here if you use the compressor, there will not be much increase in the pressure. There is no damage to the cycle. So these are the 4 processes we have listed here. Process 4 to 1, heat addition process. So these are the changes we have written. And last process is process 3 to 4, that is reversible adiabatic expansion process. So due to expansion, the temperature decreases as well as the pressure also decreases. So this is working principle of a reversed Brayton cycle or Bell-Coleman cycle. So you can ask a question that how will calculate the performance of this engine? The performance of this engine will be calculated using a parameter called coefficient of performance, COP, because it is. So we will draw PV and TS diagram for this cycle, pressure versus volume and temperature versus entropy. That is PV and TS diagram for these all 4 processes. So here I have taken pressure and volume, temperature and entropy diagrams. The first process is what? Process 4 to 1. I have taken it as first process, heat addition process. So heat addition process in the cabin, that is evaporator space, that is a constant pressure process. It is constant pressure process. I have written here. So first I will draw one constant pressure process, that is 4 to 1. So next second process, during 4 to 1 the temperature increases. Then temperature will be represented on TS diagram, that we will discuss while plotting on temperature versus entropy. So during heat addition 4 to 1, P1 is equal to P4. So P1 is equal to P4 here. I would write here P1 is equal to P4. Then second process is reversible adiabatic compression process. Adiabatic compression process, during which the temperature increases as well as the pressure also increases and volume should decrease. So 1 to 2 I will represent it with volume should decrease. So I will start from point number 1. Volume should decrease as well as the pressure should increase. So here it is 1 to 2. Here volume is 2 at point number 2 and pressure is P2. So pressure increases, volume decreases. So here what type of process it is? It is called reversible adiabatic process. Reversible adiabatic compression process. Here it is a heat addition process. Heat addition. This is heat addition. So now third process. What is the name of third process? Process 2 to 3, heat rejection process. So during heat rejection process, again that pressure is constant during the process. So I will represent with one horizontal line. Constant pressure process, arrow mark is towards left, because during cooling process, let us see here, during cooling process the high volume, again there is chances of condensing here, so volume is decreasing. Next, fourth process is that is in the expander process. So 3 to 4 is reversible adiabatic expansion in the expander or expansion device. So that is 4 to, from here 2 to 3, so 3 to 4 is expansion process. That here 3 to 4 is expansion in the expander, reversible adiabatic expansion process. So P3 should be more than P4. So P3 should be more than P4. So here what is during 2 to 3? It is a heat rejection process, that is QR. Here heat is added, heat supplied. Okay, work is done on the compressor during 1 to 2, and during 3 to 4 it is expansion process. So this is a representation of PV diagram for Bell-Coleman cycle or reversible Brayton cycle. So PV diagram. Now we will draw the TS diagram simultaneously. Here TS diagram, first process 4 to 1. So I will start from 4 to 1. So heat addition process. So during heat addition, the temperature will be more than T4. The outlet of the evaporator temperature will become more than T4. So I need to increase the temperature from 4 to 1. So I will take, this is point number 4, starting point. Here is the starting point. So this air is entering into the evaporator, increasing the temperature at outlet. So 4 to 1. So 4 to 1 is increasing. Next, second process. Next, 1 to 2, reversible adiabatic compression. So reversible adiabatic compression is also called isentropic process. So entropy remains constant. So 1 to 2, you have to draw one vertical line. Entropy remains constant. Here I will take this with this color pencil. 4 to 1. So now during 1 to 2, entropy remains constant. 1 to 2. Here entropy S is remains constant. S1 is equal to S2. Now during third process, what is the name of the third process? Heat rejection process. Again it is at constant pressure. So during constant pressure process will be represented by curved line, just like 4 to 1. But here temperature should decrease. In the 4 to 1 heat addition, temperature increased. Heat supplied, temperature increases. Here it is T4, and after end of the heat addition, temperature is T1. T1 is greater than T4. But in the during heat rejection process, the temperature should decrease. So I will represent with a downward arrow mark. Okay. Now here I will write here it as heat rejection. So during heat rejection process, initial temperature is T2, it is more. The end of the process, it will become less. What is that name temperature? I will take 2 to 3. So 2 to 3. Again the fourth process is isentropic expansion. Then I will join this line. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So this is the representation of Bell-Coleman cycle on TS diagram. Here I will write it is compression process. What is 3 to 4? Expansion process. So during 3 to 4, again entropy remains constant, S3 is equal to S4. So highest temperature is T2 and the lowest temperature is T4. So in the exam, if they ask you explain, how the question will be asked in the exam, explain the working principle of air refrigeration or Bell-Coleman cycle or reverse Brayton cycle with PV and TS diagram. So you have to draw this diagram and you have to explain what with some words, some sentences, and you have to represent these four processes and you have to draw this PV diagram. So next video lectures we will draw and we will derive an expression for COP of Bell-Coleman cycle. So thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye.